Hey everybody, Mike Edwards here. I'm here with my very good friend, Dave Thame. Dave, say hi to everybody.
Hi everyone, thank you for taking a moment to listen to this video.
So here's the thing. Coming up next week on the 21st, I should have looked at the date before I hit record. On the 21st in the evening, we have this event happening, and it's a webinar on networking and relationship building in this virtual world. Because here's the thing, when the pandemic hit, I went from trying to figure out how to network in person to trying to figure out how to network virtually, and it's not the same thing. So we're connecting with this guy by the name of Michael Hughes, who's North America's networking and relationship guru, is how he labels himself. And he's going to run this webinar for us in order to teach us a little about what it takes. And here's the cool part. Michael's doing it at no cost. What we're asking for is a donation to a very special fundraiser that's happening in mid-September. And that's why Dave's here. It's the Terry Fox Run, which David's going to get up and he's going to walk 5 kilometers for the Terry Fox Run. So start with Dave. Like, why is Terry so important to you? Why would you do what you're doing?
Well, first off, for the benefits of the people watching this video, somebody walking 5K, so what, right? Like most people should be able to do this. But when you sit in a power wheelchair for the most of your life and that's how you get around, walking 5K may seem trivial, but like anybody, it's relative. And so for me to walk 5K is going to take a huge physical effort that because of the pandemic, I was able to switch my commute time to Toronto to really do exercise, physical fitness, so I can do the Terry Fox walk. So to your original question, who is Terry Fox to
Actually,
me?
Dave, let me pause you for a sec here. You did this once before.
Yes, I did. I did it 6 years ago. I worked out and trained, and I set a goal of $5,000 to raise. And so I exceeded that goal by doing 30,000. I was able to raise 30,000, and it meant so much to me to really help people with cancer. To really, not that it directly might help them, but anything monumental impact change happens over time. And for me to be able to do that for others to provide hope, right? And that's what Terry Fox really means to me is somebody that was willing to sacrifice himself so others could have hope,
Mhm.
so others could move on and move forward and believe. And when I had to spend a lot of time in the hospital growing up with the many surgeries I had with cerebral palsy, I remember looking on the TV and seeing this young guy hobbling across Canada to be able to help other people. And I said to myself, if there was a time that I could leave this hospital room, if I can get on the other side of this, because when you're in the middle of it, you don't think it's ever going to end.
Yeah.
Surgery after surgery, hospital. If I can get beyond this, and luckily I did, right? Where I was able to go to university, have a successful career in that. But I wanted to be able to pay homage. So when I finally got to overcome the isolation of being in the hospital, had a pretty good life, it was my opportunity to help others have that same kind of hope and aspiration. So
Yeah.
I did it 5 years ago. Like everybody else, life gets in the way. You start to not eat as disciplined as you should or be as active. And I put on 50 pounds again. Luckily, I've taken it off. I think if COVID has taught us everything, in addition to the challenge of how do we network, how do we build relationships, I think everybody could use a bit of inspiration and hope. And just like when I was in the hospital, that wouldn't last forever. I truly believe COVID won't last forever. And there's going to be things we learn from it where we
Yeah.
need to learn to network remotely and in person again. And so for me to be able to do this again, to get back in shape, to really go that challenge to help people with cancer, because I believe we're going to get on the other side of this COVID thing. I truly do. I would love those that are being impacted by cancer to someday know they'll be on the other side of this. But until that happens, I'm going to be here to do whatever I can to help that happen.
Yeah. I love what you said in there. A minute ago, you talked about hope, and you made me kind of flash back. I remember Terry in his run across Canada. So, in case somebody doesn't know who Terry Fox is, which Terry Fox lost a leg to cancer, and he had a prosthetic, and he set out on what he called a marathon of hope to run from coast to coast in Canada. And he started out in St. John's, and he made it most of the way across the eastern part through Quebec and most of the way through Ontario when he had to stop, and he never restarted it because he died a little bit later. But his marathon of hope has lived on forever. And the part what you said, Dave, that kind of caught my attention there is hope. We're in the middle of this pandemic. It's easy to get hung up on all we've lost and so on and so forth. But man, hang on to the hope. Let's all run that.
Well, it's funny you mention that, Mike, because someone asked me the other day, they're like, why wouldn't you do this for cerebral palsy? Why is it that you do it for cancer?
Yeah.
And that's a very good question. And how I see it as hope should be inclusive for all.
Yeah.
Hope should be diverse. So my hope is no matter what I'm struggling with for cerebral palsy, no matter what I'm putting up with, if I can set aside my own hardships, if I can set aside my own challenges to help somebody else, my hope is somebody that's facing their challenges may also help people with cerebral palsy. So I think hope shouldn't be restricted to causes you're directly impacted with. Hope should be inclusive no matter what you're struggling with. And I think the only way we build a diverse and inclusive society is when we think beyond ourselves, when we think beyond what we're dealing with and empathize what others are going through to help do it. And that's what drives me. Like, sure, cerebral palsy has impacted me, but other people suffer too. And if I can do this, because everybody knows somebody that's lost a loved one, that's seen them struggle and live with this terrible, terrible disease. If I can do my part to make a difference, whether I hit my goal of trying to raise $300,000 or not,
yeah,
at least I've helped move it further. And everybody said, wow, that's a big number you're going for.
Yeah. I was like 300, Dave. Really? Cool.
Yeah. And I don't know. I think, like I said when I did my first walk, people say I set unrealistic expectations. But you know what? It's an unrealistic world. So if I don't set those unrealistic expectations and drive toward them, we're just not going to make it. And it's that same kind of hope that we're going to learn to come outside of this and build new skills that we got to develop because of COVID.
Yeah.
Like, would you be running this workshop if COVID never happened?
Probably
Would
not.
this be a problem? So where we see this as a problem, I see it as an opportunity.
Yeah.
Because now we work in a global world. Now we're going to see the power of how we can reach across the world and be more bigger than we ever thought we could be. But that means, how do we build relationships virtually? How do we network virtually to see those opportunities? So as we become more global to make a bigger impact, I see I'm glad you guys are focusing on my fundraiser to help do that, but we're all trying to make a global impact. And if we can help cancer, it helps for everybody. If we can network and remote globally, we have an opportunity to lend our services and provide values to people we don't even know that are out there.
Yeah.
And the more we can extend ourselves, the more we can do this. What a great world this is going to be.
Totally. Like it connects the world. So this is great. And my guess is you're hitting your 300. I think that's what's going to happen.
That's my goal, trying to hit it, and we're gonna do what we can. If corporations can help, that would be great too. And if not, let's just give it our best, and
I
that's all
agree.
we can ask for.
Yeah, that's awesome. So for everybody watching this, if we've caught your interest, there's another video. The link will be in the description of this video with Michael Hughes, who's describing what you're going to get out of it. If you want more information, the link is also in the description for this video. Or you can go to leading4change.ca. Learn with us in the menu, and then you'll see webinars, and when you go in there, you'll find it. All the information you could need is there. So the link will be in the description, or you can just go to the website and see it. What does it take to show up? Is just sign up and make a donation to Dave's campaign. The links are all there. Any amount of donation, because I suspect, Dave, I don't want to put words in your mouth, you don't care what people give. You appreciate every dollar, every cent that's given towards what you're trying to achieve.
Just like the only way I'm going to achieve the 5K is one step at a time, even if it's 1 cent at a time.
Yeah.
We can't think about the monumental goal. We got to think about every little step it takes to get there. So please just do 1 cent, do whatever you can, because there's a lot of much deserving charities out there. This isn't better than any of them, but this is as important as cause as any of them. So whatever you can do, truly appreciate it. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart. So
yeah. And likewise, the more of us that show up into the webinar, I think the better it's going to be. So thank you so much, Dave. It's been a pleasure to chat with you today. This video was a little bit longer than I expected, but hey, who cares? It was a good chat. And we look forward to seeing everybody. The date is Wednesday, April 21st at 6:30 Eastern. Again, go to leading4change.ca or just follow the link that's in this description. Look forward to seeing you there. And Dave, look forward to seeing you there.
Thank you.
All right.